Alright, I wanted to discuss some properties of RSI and how to trade with it, potentially. I don't want to lay out one strategy, I just want to give you some building blocks to work with. First off, if you want to trade overbought to oversold, there are certain situations in which that is profitable. And that is when a stock is strongly ranging with clean moves to the up and down side. And if you think about it, that makes a lot of sense. Because obviously if a stock just makes strong moves up and down like this, within the same kind of range, chances are RSI is going to say overbought over here and oversold over here, you're going to make a lot of money. Most stocks don't move like that. That's why a strategy like overbought to oversold, which is what this is, I coded it up, doesn't work most of the time. More often than not, it can tell you something like this. Boom. Okay. Right, let's say RSI reaches 70 over here, or over here, somewhere in the later stage of a bull run. If it's just a normal move up, chances are it's gonna sort of say meh. Like the sort of term, if I had to vocalize this, I would say you know. That's what's coming after the yeah, right? So yeah means meh in terms of RSI. Real hot stuff, real analytical, good job. I wouldn't say that I can also actually quantify things if you listen to me babble about meh, yeah, but sure. Okay, next point. If a stock is like, whoa, you know, it's like a penny stock and it's like this, you think it matters when it reaches the RSI over 70 about here. I got You think it matters? That shit will go over 70 for like the entire duration of 50 million shares being sold and bought, and nobody cares. Nobody. Do you ever see like a scalp trading guy with like RSI on his charts? Like, oh my god, it's like up 50% in like 10 minutes, but the RSI is too high. Like, oh my god. You think it's crossing from like overbought to oversold according to the RSI? No, of course not. You're still trying to buy it overbought and sell it oversold. Reverse of that. I'm sorry, but point is, you're using different measures of that than RSI gives you. So RSI is just one measure, right? It's a measure of a construct, right? Called the measure is RSI, or you could say RSI being above a certain threshold, right? And a construct is overbought, right? So this makes sense, right? So you understand that this measure only makes sense under certain conditions. So this whole thing has conditions, right? One of those conditions where it's very profitable is when it's ranging. That's just one aspect of it. Okay. Next point. Okay. Okay, let's look at this, right? For example, here's a good example. Let's give some examples, right? There's a lot of patterns in the market, and some of them are very easy to spot, some of them are harder. Okay, let's look at this, for example, right? Here you have a micro move up and immediate pullback down. Micro move back up and only a 50% retracement, and it starts bouncing. Now you might take that as a long trade based on other factors here. You might say, okay, I'm bullish on that, at least in a very near term if I'm watching that all the time. I might say yes. Okay, I'll take that. Doesn't matter how you trade, it's just an example, right? Anyway, you're taking this trade and you're looking for an exit. Overbought, boom. Overbought, right? There are plenty of levels examples of support and resistance, and they can be relevant or not relevant depending on a lot of things. Overbought, simple as buy. It's overbought. Let's sell here, right? So you might say, okay, you got support and resistance, right? You got the sort of general market conditions. You got the momentum up, and if it's slowing down, right? Momentum in general. And in this case, you're just adding to that list with overbought. It's really easy to look at that and say, oh yeah, right, overbought. So in that case, it's a way of timing your exits. And you can see that it works fairly well because it starts trading within a narrow range, pushing this top, right, while trading in that range. What does it do after that? It crosses back to fair value. Because of this move right here, right? Would you short it? Of course not. Of course not. This is just overbought because of this move right here, right? But it's not showing any signs of going down just yet, right? Like this move is not predicted by this signal. While in a ranging market like this, you could say that overbought indicates this move. So you have to be able to contextualize that, right? That's an example of what we just discussed. Hope that helps. Same thing here. When it reached oversold, was this a good moment to exit? Heck yeah, right? Heck yeah. Of course it was a good moment to exit. Why is this fading out? I don't want to fade out. Yucky. Okay, I don't know how to change that. Sucks. Anyway. So, in this case, you see it did make a slight move up very quickly. But does that mean you should go long? No, of course that doesn't mean you should go long. Overall, this trend is bullish. So if you look at the larger time frame, if you're willing to hold for longer, sure, you can say, yeah, I think this is slightly sloping up. And you can see that this trend held, right? So if you could see this as noise, right? And you could see this as the trend, which is valid, right? Eventually, I wouldn't say that's a very good setup, but at least it has a pattern to it. And you can at least invalidate the idea that you would go short when it's overbought. Of course you wouldn't, right? You're trading against a trend. You're doing a lot of things you shouldn't be doing. Not a good idea. Look at this. So in this case, it doesn't make any sense to trade like that, right? Doesn't make any sense. The longer the time frame, let's say 1 day. Look at this. Is it ever ranging? Is it ranging quite clearly? No, it's not, right? So it's not making these choppy moves. So I would say in general, if it's ranging very clearly, use RSI as exit and entry. But this is just an extra little bit of sugar that might be able to be used as exits, easy exits, or as an extra reason to enter now. So let's say you're long on something, you might use overbought to say, well, I'll hold off on it for now and hope that it reaches and maybe pass up on the opportunity if it doesn't. If it's oversold, you might say, well, yeah, I'll do it now, right? So you use it as an extra reason. Yeah, I'll enter now. Let's do it now. We'll do it live, right? Okay. So I hope that explains the do's and don'ts of RSI and how you should be trading it. Trade sensibly. Don't just copy a strategy that you saw on TradingView. Especially if you don't know what market conditions it works and it doesn't and why. Not everyone is doing it if it's that easy. You know, read. Think. Try. Do. You know. Hope you the best of luck. and like, subscribe, and